Hey guys, welcome back to Quantum Healing Mysteries. If you're here for the live stream, sorry we started a little late, but it's because my mind was blown talking to Dr. Kate and Representative Lee backstage. So you're going to hear some incredible things today that you might not believe, but everything is true. It's happening right now. You know, we live in really crazy times. I think if you're here watching this channel, you already know that. You don't need to be educated on that fact. But what you are going to learn today might actually make you even question reality, because what this is our world, this is America. It's really, really crazy. But the reason we're bringing on Representative Lee is because there are people fighting for our freedom, and those people need to be amplified. We need to know the actual truth. There's so many misleading headlines about government and what the government is up to, and can we trust this person, can we trust that person? All the parties are evil. There's no hope. And I'm here to tell you there's still hope. There's still people fighting for our freedom. And Congressman Lee is one of those people. And I have to give such a shout out to Dr. Kate Keville. She is the one that has brought me all of these connections. She's amazing. And it's so important that we amplify these voices on like literally every channel we can find, because we know mainstream media won't. We know who has bought and sold that channel. So it's up to us. If we discover the truth, it's our duty, I think, to bring that truth forward. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up Dr. Kate and Representative Lee. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here today.
Hey, Julia.
Hey, so backstage, we were talking about some crazy things. How, you know, Dr. Kate, you just worked with a patient where you saw these Morgellons. And it was like not just a few of them. It was, does Dr. Kate know she's on screen? I don't know if she does. That's funny. Well, we were just talking about how these Morgellons from specifically someone that was vaccinated. Dr. Kate, you saw it was a lot going on with this person. Could you speak to that a little bit?
There we go. I think she's muted.
Oh, let's see. I don't see her muted on my end. Can she hear us? Guys, can you hear both of us? Lee and I. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I can hear you. Huh. Let me text her. And while I am texting her, maybe she can't hear us for some reason. That's weird. Okay, well, let's the comments. This is a funny moment. Okay, they can hear us, so that's good. So let me move to you, Congressman Lee and Representative Lee. Would you tell us a little bit about your story? How did you get to the place you're at? I think you had something happen with your health, and Dr. Kate was a part of that journey. Can you talk about all of that?
Sure. So this is something that I've been, I guess, paying attention to probably 10, 11 years now, just in the skies and trying to research and see what's going on. You see these trails behind these planes and you hear, oh, it's a condensation trail. There's nothing to really see here. But over the last, I'm going to say 4 to 5 years, it has intensified to where so many people are waking up with it now. So I started watching geoengineering, different topics and podcasts on it, trying to research it. And I found a site that is geoengineeringwatch.org. And Dane Wigington, that is his site. And he did a documentary called The Dimming. And I suggest and recommend that everybody look at that. He is so reliable and so credible. Dane won't talk about anything if he doesn't have 100% proof of what he's discussing. Dane and I have become real good friends throughout all this last 2 years, maybe a year and a half. And so I rely on and mainly only him anymore for my information and research that I do on this. but I do recommend that people go watch the dimming and see what is happening in our skies. So I wound up running for South Carolina House because, first of all, I'm just a general contractor. We build roads and do commercial work, grading, storm drainage, asphalt, paving, concrete. And I'm a farmer, so I'm nothing special. Had a problem in our district where I knew our representative was a rhino, and so I ran against him and won. Well, then I took that to a stage platform. It is not something that I ever wanted on my resume to be in politics, nor do I want it now. But I'm, such a times as these is what God says.
True.
So anyway, yeah, I took an oath. I was in the military when I was 18, and took an oath then to defend this country, both against foreign and domestic. And when I got in the state house, I took another oath to defend the health of my constituents and the people in the state of South Carolina. So that's what I'm going to do. And to the best of my ability anyway. It is not an easy task. So what I've done all year long is try to do presentations to groups all across the state and get the information out just for awareness and to educate, these people, to try to get enough people aware of what's going on that it'll make a difference at some point. And that's been it's been a journey in itself, but people are really awake now, trying to figure out what is going on, because the Friday before we did our first hearing in the House on my bill H4624, which is Clean Air Act, they're doing circles with these stratospheric aerosol injection, this chemical dispersal, complete circles, and there's 3 over my area, and then from Spartanburg to Gaffney, there were 5 in a row. It looked like the Olympics, and people were really raising a brow of, what is going on here? And I honestly feel like they were the federal government, who is U.S. Air Force, main one of them, are sticking a bird down saying, you can stop this in the state if you want to, but you don't have any jurisdiction over us, and we're going to continue to do it. Then whether that's what it was or not, I don't know. But it was so much in your face, you couldn't deny what was going on.
Someone in the comments is saying that, not to interrupt you, but someone in the comments is saying you cannot stop the chemtrailing. It's a matter of national defense. Is that true? Could you speak to that?
Sure. First of all, we can and we will. It's we the people in this country.
Wow.
It's not President Trump. It's not Lee Gilreath.
Yes.
It's not, it is we the people.
Wow. How do we do that?
All right. It's a bigger task than what you
Let's
first
do it.
think.
How?
Yes. But I think, like I said before, I think education and awareness is the big key, to wake people up, to let them know what's happening in our skies above us. And she is right. At 500 feet above the surface area is FAA, Federal Aviation Administration airspace.
Wow.
They have jurisdiction over that airspace. So in my bill, that's why I implemented private citizen authorization, which allows civilians in the state of South Carolina to be able to bypass the AG and take these suits straight to the employees of the airport or the pilots when they land. When they land, they're fair game. And there's different tracking devices that can be used. Flight Radar 24 is one. There's several different ones that you can track these planes, where they take off and where they land. It's not going to be an easy task, but I think, like anything else, when enough people realize what they're doing to our water, to our food, the detrimental effects it's having on our health, people are gonna, it's gonna be a pitchfork moment. And then when that happens, then I think hopefully we'll have God step in too, and this atrocity will end one day.
I've heard rumors that RFK is actively trying to stop that. Do you know anything? Can you speak to that at all?
I have seen different things with RFK Jr. on it. This is a big war we're in. It's a world war, and they're doing this globally. They put 40 to 60 million tons a year out, and that was the old numbers. So I mean, what the numbers are now have got to far exceed that. And these chemicals float in the air from 3 months to 2 to 3 years. So it's just it's a constant bombardment. So I look at the all of the many different aspects of everything that's going on between Iran and you name it. It's just, so much going on. Do I think they're trying to do something? I sure hope so. And I feel like at some point this whole thing is just so big that they're taking care of the things in a process and in an order. And I sure hope that's what's happening. And I know Dr. Kate has assured me that RFK Jr. is taking the lead on this. I have never spoke to him personally. He did send a message last year while I was in session that they were helping us with a food bill, a food dye bill in school lunches. And I also have a fluoride out of the water bill that I think coincides with the stratospheric aerosol injection. And then I have my H4624 bill, which is Clean Air Act. So he sent word that they would, after the food dye bill, they would help me with my fluoride bill, and then next year help me with the stratospheric aerosol injection, Clean Air Sky Act. So I'm going on that, and I hope that will stand to be true. I have to throw a comment out there that says I can choose what food I eat. I can choose what water I drink. I cannot choose the air I breathe.
That's right.
So it's so important. This is the head of the snake, in my opinion, and it has to stop.
Yeah. Someone in the comments is saying this stuff goes so far back. They are all in on the club. There's no hope. Nothing in the courts would ever go anywhere. I feel like that's the state of a lot of us. Like, I know my husband looks at the sky and he's like, unless I get a cannon, shoot this thing out of the air, it's not going to stop.
In the military, it was a stinger.
Like, don't do
that. A stinger operator is surface to air missile. I'm just saying.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
I don't have any. But it is. It's a. This is being done on a global scale. So it is. Yeah. It's like pharmakia, and I don't use the word pharmaceutical because Genesis says pharmakia. But it's as big as that, and it's getting as big as that, or bigger than that, where you have a lot of lobbyists trying to defend this and trying to debunk it as a condensation trail. And jet fumes. So every bit of that
clearly is not. Like, you can look up now and you can see the difference. Oh, that's
when you see when you see a chemical dispersion or a trail that goes a period and then it stops and then it starts back up and then it stops and then it starts again. I've even witnessed them where they will run circles and hit a parallel line to one another with 4 lines in a row and watch the same plane do that. Nothing makes any sense other than they are dispersing. Plus, in the dimming, it's been proven where they took a Learjet up and collected data out of these trails and did a data analysis on it. into a glass filter. And when they pulled those samples out, they found aluminum, barium, strontium, mercury, lead, silver iodide, sulfur iodide. There's a plethora of material in these, even finding parasites and pathogens in these.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I've done my own research with another friend of ours who has a 1,000 power microscope, and we're finding a lot of the same stuff in our in produce, leaves, and grass.
Crazy. So do you both think the nanotech is inside chemtrails as well?
I do. Because of the research that I've done myself, not from anything that I've gotten from anywhere else.
Yeah.
I like I said, I think it's the head of the snake. I think it intertwines with what the bioweapon they put on us with COVID, as well as the bioweapon of the vaccine that they put on us to save us for,
Yeah. And if we can speak to the level of how serious this is, like, I think there's no questions about, is it there? So I think we can move on. Everyone's like, yeah, this is true. We know this.
Well,
move on.
We're breathing. If you go out at night with a headlamp and you look up into the sky, you will see these particles. And some nights it's heavier than others, but you're never not going to see them. And these are nanoparticles. You're breathing. Every breath, you're breathing up to 20 million micro nanoparticles per breath. They are so fine that they go straight into your bloodstream, your spine, your brain, in your lungs. It is a unbelievable health issue in itself. So we're getting it from every direction right now.
Yeah, crazy. So how do you stay healthy in the middle of all of this? This would be a good question for Dr. Kate.
Yeah, I mean, this what lady tells me to do.
I have a friend that collected chemtrail, air, water, and she made an antidote. She made a supplement to pull it out, and her website was frozen. Her business was shut down. Her banking account was seized. So they shut her down. But so she's up and at it again, but she's just calling it something different.
Wow.
I think every day, I don't think we can afford to not do something to detoxify on a daily basis. We just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I went roller skating yesterday, and I knew the air that, how the air was so bad, and then it's raining. But, we just have to find things to help us detoxify and turn them off. Turn these nanobots off.
Where is the shit? I don't have it near my computer, but I use that every day, sometimes multiple times a day.
Yeah. Lee and I have seen with Dr. Jean Patan, we've seen the blood. I mean, Dr. Jean's been looking at live blood for over 40 years. She's never seen this stuff in people's blood before. It's indescribable.
When you see hydrogel self-replicating inside your body and attacking the white and red blood cells, it kind of puts you into a whole different mentality of what's happening, and worse things than that. But I won't talk about that because we're still trying to figure out exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But it's not right.
No. Yeah. Someone says, learn how to use your biofield, which is 80% of your immune system. And that's what your device, the Shift, directly touches, that electromagnetic frequency, which we all have this biofield. It's interesting. They said 6 feet away, masks. Well, you have a field that comes from your heart and your body, but we don't know. Why don't we know this? That boggled my mind last year. I'm like, wait a minute. I saw like 50 practitioners, and none of them knew in America, Eastern, Western, integrative, functional, the best naturopaths, and none of them knew to teach me about the biofield. And that's when I learned, the NIH, the FDA, pharmaceutical companies got together back in 1909, and they made drugs and surgery the Western curriculum, and they removed Nikola Tesla's knowledge about energy and frequency, and they destroyed Rife's labs. And I was just mind blown that we've had 100 years of not having that information in America.
Mhm.
Like, what? Which, you know, if you know about all that, you can have instantaneous regeneration. Instantaneous.
Mhm.
Blew my mind. But what's really amazing, I know like these are really dark times. It's awful. But like if it wasn't for these dark times, we would never have learned about like all the things Dr. Kate knows that blows my mind by the minute. And like these, you know, how our bodies are made, which our bodies run on software, on frequency, on vibration. I would never have learned that. And now it feels like this collective awakening.
I don't think these are dark times. I think these are the most
Yeah.
Oh, that's
phenomenal
amazing.
times in the history.
Yeah.
It's
of
hard when
the
you look
world.
up and you just get depressed.
Yeah,
but
well,
no,
that's what they want. They want us depressed, and they
That's
want us,
true.
you know, fearful.
yeah.
So I don't go there. It's
That's
a
good.
parting of the Red Sea moment, in my opinion.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
I
a great
agree, Lee.
perspective.
Yeah,
Wow. And
do our best to stop what's going on and then find solutions to it. That's the only thing we can do.
yeah. And you work with so many people and you're supposed to be retired, Dr. K.
Yeah.
So many people find you that need you and then they discover healing. And like, you know, the plant spray, someone in the comments is using it. You know, it's like I've learned healing in ways I've never thought possible. And it's just incredible to experience that for yourself and then help many other people. Because a lot of people are without answers right now. They're sick. They don't know why they're sick. They keep getting sicker. And I'm like, well, there's a reason why you go outside. That's not clean air anymore. You know,
And the grounding that we do, you're grounding to aluminum and all the other toxic metals, you know,
Right.
on the ground. So
It's
even
crazy.
the grounding isn't what it should be or
Yeah.
it used to be.
Yeah.
Lee, I wanted to ask you, I suppose it doesn't really matter, but do you think that that they started it for maybe a good reason? Like they thought we had global warming, so they want to dim the sun? Or I was wondering if, you know, I know that they take a lot of toxic waste and shoot it up into the sky, right? Do you think is this toxic waste that they have to get rid of and the landfills are already full and so they're spraying us? Or
Like you said, it probably started out, well, I don't think it started out from who started it to be a good thing. There's 30,000 U.S. patents on this.
What?
That started back in the 1800s. But
Whoa.
the way that they compartmentalize everything in the government and in the military, you know, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing.
Wow.
So
right.
they achieve their goals through manipulation and climate change. You know, of course, we got to stop climate change. We need to get to work. Well, behind the scene, you know, they're not really trying to stop climate change. They're trying to get to the 2030 agenda. And
well, you know, my son's father was a captain in Vietnam, active. And I remember him telling me that it just never stopped raining. And I just read last night that Vietnam, they had geoengineering. They had weather control going on there.
Oh, yeah, it's called Project Popeye.
Yeah.
Project Popeye and Popeye.
Wow.
And they manipulated the weather, and they did that, you know, to try to help our soldiers, but it probably hurt our soldiers as much as it hurt the Vietnamese. And then they come, people always say, well, who is they? Who is they?
I know.
Well,
I know.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same people that thought it would be a good idea to during Project Popeye to spray Agent Orange on the whole population of Vietnam and their soldiers and our soldiers.
Wow.
Right.
Same thing here. You know, they don't care who it is.
Right. And then the same people that brought Agent Orange back from Vietnam and sold it to Monsanto's and made Roundup. So now we're being Agent Orange, right? So they're saying, oh yeah, Agent Orange they used in Vietnam. Well, no, in the United States of America now everywhere they're using it as Roundup. It was a weed killer.
Yeah.
And we go today with who started COVID, and then who gave us a vaccine to prevent COVID. You know.
Right, right.
Oh,
Well, you can go on and on and on with they.
Yeah.
someone in the comments said they're a non-vet and they're asking for more info on Agent Orange.
Agent Orange. My son was
Oh.
diagnosed with stage 4 testicular cancer. You probably know this as a Vietnam vet. And when I called the military to ask for help, because in the beginning we weren't quite sure how to take it, and they said, "Oh yeah, it is proven that Agent Orange causes cancer in Vietnam veterans' children. So it's a generation apart."
Wow.
So yeah, I mean it's a known fact. So what do? You figure out how to chelate it, but you certainly don't want to be using Roundup if you're any kind of veteran, I would say. Well, anybody. I think Roundup should be illegal.
I
Yeah.
do too. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Wow.
a good friend of mine I've met through this, she is a big advocate of stopping Roundup, and she's stopped it in, I think she said 209 cities so far across the United States.
Wow.
And they've
Wow.
moved them. This is on for herbicides on golf courses or that the city uses, and now they've gone to a organic herbicide.
Wow.
That she's pushing. So
Good.
I really want to get some information from her, and I've asked her for that already. That I
Yeah.
can start
Wow.
using the same, because I don't use Roundup anymore either, or glyphosate. So
Well, and as you said, Lee, it's we as the people. You know, Bobby Kennedy sued Roundup, Monsanto, I think, and won the case, but they're still on every Home Depot shelf. So it's we the people.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
we can't depend that.
Huh.
You know, we don't want to have a savior complex and think that the president's going to save the day, because it's we the
Yeah.
people, like you said in the beginning, Lee. You know, we have to all start participating.
Yes. Yes. Very, very well said. Yeah, just don't buy that stuff. I remember my mom used to spray it on all the weeds. We never knew anything. Like this was
Oh, yeah.
20 years ago.
Then you
She's
roll
like, "Oh,
around it.
go spray Roundup." Yeah,
Yeah.
they're playing it.
Yeah, then you roll around in it as a kid.
Right. Oh,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden you're gluten intolerant.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
I
So
was
it's
gonna
right.
read a-
You're right. We're waking up.
I was going to read a quote, if you don't mind, real quick. Just to this was in 1962 from Lyndon B. Johnson, and he said this at a Harvard graduation ceremony, and it says, "From space, the masters of infinity would have the power to control the Earth's weather, to cause drought and flood, to change tides and raise the levels of the sea, to divert the Gulf Stream and change temperature climates to frigid. Whoever controls the weather controls the world." And literally, this is what we're up against.
Yeah.
And we've got every country out there, you know, spraying to see who can show who has the biggest muscle, I think, of who does have control of the weather. When you can create droughts,
Yeah.
to the magnitude that they're doing it, then we're all going to be asking for, you know.
Have you heard about Lake Colorado?
Right.
Like, dried up in the last 24 hours or something? That just happened.
Lake Mead is at all-time low levels, but they're saying, I just watched this on Dane's podcast Saturday. He's saying, well, they may not be, but what they are thinking capacity is of Lake Mead, and without figuring all the runoff and sediment in the bottom of Lake Mead over the last, you know, however many years, that capacity has shrunk so much because of all the silt in the bottom of the lake. So they're in a mess there too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what would be some practical steps if people are like, okay, we're awake, but now what? First of all, like stop buying the wrong products. Could be a simple, money talk. So if we don't invest in these things, we never use glyphosate again. What else can we do? How can we support people like you, Lee? Go into Congress for us, or the House for us.
A big thing in South Carolina, and really any state you're in, so there's 38 states that's filed legislation on this out of 50. I mean, that's a big number.
Wow.
And there's only 3 that's passed it so far, which is why I'm trying to push South Carolina to be the tip of the spear on this, so that we can get other states signed on. Arizona got it passed through through Senate and House, and it was sitting on Katie Hobbs' desk to sign, and she would not sign it. I mean, I know we all find that shocking.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what we're dealing with. So if you reach out to your representatives and your senators in the state, and it really needs to be the one thing that everybody looks at, is it a constituent of mine? So if you are a constituent, reach out to your representative and your senator. That means so much more than somebody across the state sending a letter in. They really pay attention to the constituents. I've learned since I've been there that getting reelected is everything. It is so important to them, and they base their whole life on it. I could care less. If the good Lord wants me there and my constituents want me there, then I'm there to serve them. If they don't, then I was perfectly content, at home. So,
Yeah.
but I'm happy to serve if I'm there.
Thank God you're there, Lee.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Dr.
Thank
Kate.
God.
Yes. That's good to know. So how do you think the tide will shift? Will it take a long time? Because this is like 100 years of corruption we're up against. But if we're waking up collectively, like you said, and it's we the people, do you think the tide can turn?
They patented this in 1946 and started in 1947. So I mean, it has been, it's we 80 years, so you're not far off when you say 100 years.
Wow.
But with the patents, it goes back further than that. So it's something that we're going to all have to get involved in, I think, and really have the masses come to a pitchfork moment to say, this is enough. This is going to stop one way or another. I don't know what that results in. I'm not preaching violence here. I'm just saying I don't know what it entails at the end of the day, but I know if we put our trust in our Creator, that our path will be shown.
Yeah, that's true. I've been thinking about the verse a lot this week. Ask and it will be given. And it's like, if you haven't asked, how are you going to receive? And I'm like, man, I need to pray more. And I've started praying a lot this week, more than I used to. And like, oh, I have this problem in front of me. Let me just stop and pray. And I can't begin to tell you, like, God has shown me this week through little things. It was like, hey, help me to sleep tonight. And I would just pray until I fell asleep. And boom, I'd be out all night. I'm like, wow, prayer really works. So if we lean into that, if we all collectively pray for this and believe, like, there is so much power there. I don't even think we can estimate just the power of collective faith and belief.
Well, and I think too, a part of it is, so much of this point we're being poisoned, and so people don't have energy.
Yes.
They can't show up because they can
So
barely.
True.
I mean, I get these phone calls every day. I mean, people are really sick, so. But if you have any kind of energy, we have to gather together.
Yeah.
Go to your congressional meetings. Find out who Lee's one of the best congressmen I've ever met in my life. Find who's out there representing you and just demand it.
Yeah.
And there's enough scientific research, right, Lee? Isn't there enough now that we can present it?
Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt. We had our first hearing, and you were there, Dr. Kate, in the South Carolina House. Well, we had one in the Senate back in December, and I helped Senator Rex Rice head that one up. And it did make it out of subcommittee into committee, and it's still sitting in committee. But you saw what happened. They started and had 2 bills in front of me. We had 2 hours for this subcommittee meeting, and they used 1 hour and 10 minutes of that time on these 2 bills. One was about wedding venues, whether or not they should get tax credit, or have to meet certain requirements as new buildings do. And I was sitting there with my head about to explode off my shoulders because I knew how petty that was compared to what we're sitting here wanting to discuss.
Wow.
So we got
Right.
50 minutes left out of the 2 hours, and we presented, but it got adjourned debate because, of course, you're going to have a lot of questions on this, as they do. But they were blown away, I think, by how many intelligent, educated people that have all their facts together. And I don't think they knew how to combat that. Well, I know they did. So it's been said after that, well, what we need to do is, get a study committee up and, research this. That's kicking the can down the road. We don't need a study committee. And I certainly don't want anybody in the government doing a study committee,
Right.
on this. We good. We've all done our own research.
Right.
We are the
We
research.
want to move forward.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get another hearing, and have not been successful so far. But again, won't quit until I breathe my last, I reckon.
Wow. Praise God for that. Yeah. That's the right approach. Just not to quit till we see something better.
Yeah.
So how can we, you mentioned something really good, Dr. Kate, when you're so tired and sick, like I remember I was there all year last year and it was like, you're out of hope, you're out of options. It feels like that, which is a lie from the enemy because you're not. But like, what are some ways people could like get their health and their energy back as they decide, I need to be aware, I need to speak up, I need to find my local representative, and I also need to get my health back because that is so important.
Sure.
What would be some initial steps?
That's $1 trillion question right there.
Yeah.
I mean, any kind of chelator of some sort, something that'll pull these heavy metals out of your body, whether you can do it intravenous or charcoal, activated charcoal, some of that. Watch the foods you eat. Of course, I'm not here to sell the shift, but the shift device. I mean, we have to turn this stuff off, and we've got to have our cells resonate between 10 and 30 kilohertz, or get our fields, get our electromagnetic fields, get our energy up. That's the best way I know of.
Yeah. My whole family uses that at multiple times a day. My 3-year-old, he loves it. He's like, here's my food too. And then he's like, here's my iPad. Oh, we can't do that.
Yeah, but I just
you probably should though.
Once you become aware and then learn about heavy metal detox and learn about different things that, in the old days, you say, well, you go for a walk in the woods, and now it's like, did they spray last night? Yes. I mean, it seems now, Lee, I don't know, I'm sure you're seeing it. It'll be a blue sky. Of course, they're spraying. And then the next day or 2 days later, it's raining. Like they've I had a warning this morning, tornado and thunderstorms coming through this morning, and they sprayed 3 days straight. They sprayed,
and the chemical ice nucleation that they keep putting on us when we go a 40 to 50 degree temperature change.
Right.
Last weekend it was 78 in Washington D.C. and snowed the same day.
Yeah.
That doesn't just happen. It's called chemical ice nucleation. And they did it this winter, with an ice storm, and then followed it up with a snowstorm. And I think both of them, they were hoping they were going to be able to cause more devastation than they did. And they certainly could, but weren't able to. So we were very fortunate on that. And we had some hurricanes last year that didn't come in that, you could tell they were completely manipulated offshore that didn't come in. So we were fortunate there. You look at the devastation that we got from Helene, and it's being attacked by your own government under the secrecy of weather warfare and weather manipulation. And so nobody had any clue of how a hurricane goes 600 miles off the shoreline where it first hit in Florida, all the way up to the western North Carolinas and Tennessee, where it intensified in frequency and power at 4,000 to 6,000 foot elevation mountains with 10 to 20 degree temperature change being lower. That is not, what feeds a hurricane.
Yeah.
What does feed a hurricane is the weather, military weapons, is what I call them. NEXRAD and HAARP, HAARP, manipulating these frequencies and being able to heat up or steer these storms with all these frequencies and particles, and being able to intensify them. And then you had the Texas flooding that went on, and 38 at that same time, 38 different areas got flooded other than just Texas. And nobody knows that we're being attacked, because it's under the secrecy of weather manipulation.
Yeah.
Look at
My own
Maui.
judgment.
Maui's flooded.
Wow.
Exactly.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Crazy.
Lee, talk about the trees. I know for a fact, because I've looked at trees in the back forest here. They don't have a root system anymore.
Well, during Helene, when I was a kid, you could, on these 200 to 250-year-old trees, you could drive a Volkswagen Bug off into the root system of where these trees were. The breather roots go out to the canopy of the tree, and so it's called stomata, which is a respiratory system of the tree system, and a tree will take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen. And lo and behold, God made us just the opposite, where we breathe in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. It works good together, unless the tree is being gummed up, and its respiratory system is gummed up, then the root system stops growing. So all these trees that we took up, because we do that, and we did a lot of humanitarian help with Western North Carolina, and here too. We had bad damage from Helene here, but every tree that we cleaned up had like 1.5 foot deep root system. 2 feet was the most I saw on a 200 to 250-year-old oak tree. Yeah, and the tap root is rotten right at the base of the tree. So these trees are 50% of our oxygen.
Yeah.
And they're gumming them up where they're not producing oxygen. And if you go to the ocean, the plankton is another 50% of our oxygen. 90% of our plankton in the ocean is gone right now.
90%.
Whoa.
So if that tells you, we have an oxygen depletion. Everybody does. So I bought a hyperbaric chamber just to try to combat this, of what we're dealing with. But yes, it's. Go ahead, Dr. Kate.
I'm sorry, Lee. There was
You go right ahead.
I did a talk in Charleston last Thursday, and there was a man that they couldn't get his oxygen up. Now this is going on 3 years. His oxygen was at 55. I shifted him maybe 5 minutes, not that long even. And we had an oximeter, so we measured his oxygen, went up to 100. It was the first time in 3 years.
How many minutes was that?
It couldn't have been 5. I mean, I definitely did longer on him than I did anybody else there. It wasn't like 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, 55
That's what
up
excites
to 100.
me. It's like, if we can have this comeback of medicine that was hidden 100 years ago by the AMA, imagine the world we could have.
Yeah.
Just the simple things like ivermectin and fenbendazole and linbendazole. I mean, just the simple.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and this woman she's a natural homeopath, and so she's redesigned now some products. I'll give you her information, Julia. I'll send it to you. But she has for chemtrails. She has for glycosates, heavy metals. And they're all homeopathic specifically, but she has collected the air, the water, just like Lee has. And looked at it under a microscope. She's got a microscope. So she's developed this. So I think she kind of wants to stay underground because of the last time that she came out with this, but I'll send you her contact.
Yeah, her bank account was frozen, you said. Her practice was like decimated.
She lost everything, yeah.
That's crazy.
What happens? But
Yeah.
yeah, if we just keep her safe. But
Yeah, of
she's
course.
ready to bring it out again. Just
Wow.
calling it different names now.
Yeah. Non-frequency healing.
I know.
Oh man, it's
You
crazy.
know, we were talking about glyphosate, and in Malaysia, I got Clemson University to start looking at this for me. I said, because we know all the aluminum that we're taking in, that's the vast majority of these particles is aluminum.
Wow.
And so we're getting a buildup in our soil of aluminum, and people are doing tests and showing, where it is increasing year by year. So, I say that to say, how are we going to be able to grow? Because I'm talking to farmers and I'm talking to different representatives in Wyoming, and they say, well, Lee, we can't grow even GMO corn anymore. We have to use this aluminum ready seed that was created in Malaysia.
What?
And they have bicolor sorghum, they have rice, and they have corn, and they can't even grow it in Wyoming without using this aluminum ready seed.
What? That's insane.
That
So
enough
even if
is
you-
enough proof. That's enough proof right there, right?
I know, right?
Right.
That is.
Why else would you need a aluminum
Right.
ready seed? Yeah.
But you'll never hear that anywhere. That's the sad part. Except here. We're telling you it.
Yeah.
So you can stockpile all the seeds you want to, but guess what? If you
Yeah.
can't grow it in the soils that we have, I don't know if it's going to do much good.
gosh.
That's insane.
So they will own the seed, because
Right.
they've contaminated the soil.
My husband grows hydroponically. He'll have like 30-foot kale, but then he's like, well, I'm worried because it's not soil. I'll have to tell him this. Don't be worried.
Yeah.
Don't be,
Grow it
don't
in the
be worried.
water.
There's
He's killing
a
these things in water.
there's a hydroponic farm not far from me, and they actually use purified water, but they add minerals. You guys probably do that. You
Yeah.
just add
That's
your
what
own
he does.
minerals to
Yep.
the.
Oh,
to
he's
it.
very
So-
scientific. He measures it down to the whatever
Wow.
millionth of a, and he's got beautiful plants that grow in towers. He's got PVC pipes. We started doing this in 2020 when he's like, oh, you're going to restrict seed sales? Because there was a governor in a state that did that, like restricted seeds sales. He's like, oh, well, watch me. So
Wow.
he grew like 100 heads of kale in the garage.
Good for him.
And we went and tried to sell it at a farmer's market. We finally donated it because that's so much kale. Oh. So we the people can, we can really do something. If that was one person in our garage,
That's right.
imagine all of us waking up, taking care of or just taking charge of our own food supply, deciding to grow at home, doing something that simple. Someone in the comments says they do hydroponics as well. That's cool. Yeah, but that's quite a point about growing your own food. Someone says a greenhouse, but is that even, you're still dealing with soil depletion?
Well, and I have a greenhouse, in-ground greenhouse, and these particles still come in to those areas.
Oh, wow.
But yes, I think it's protected more than my garden, which I'm leaving my garden covered about 9 months out of the year. And then I uncover it, which I just did this weekend. Try to be able to get my nutrients back in the soil and lime it and be ready to go again. But I'm just doing that to try to protect as much, protect my soil as best I can.
Yeah.
And I irrigate underneath it.
Do you get good harvests from your gardens?
I do get good harvest. But now let me say this. I start out very slow, and this has started over the last 4 to 5 years. It looks like my plants come up from seed and have a fungus, and they'll just sit there dormant for maybe 4 weeks. And, I've have put fungicide on them before just to see what it would do. It does nothing, but over about 4-week process, they kick out of it, and then they start growing. But it's something that I've never, and I've gardened my whole life, literally since I was probably 4 or 5 years old with my dad and grandmom too. So it's something I take very seriously, and I enjoy doing. So I do pay attention to these things. But yeah, the last 4 or 5 years have seen a significant difference in my seeds coming up and hitting a point of resistance, and then able to break through it. How long will I be able to continue? I don't know.
I know. Did you tell Julie about your cows, Lee?
Getting sick. I lost some cows, and we vaccinated all last weekend, which is well, I think I might have got. It may have been contagious. I don't know if that's, but my son got sick too, and he was helping me.
Wow.
So we were both doing it, but there was farmers all around this area. And I mean, I'm talking 5 to 10 miles apart, that are losing a significant number of cattle. And nobody knows why, but, so just like you were saying about veterinarians earlier, we were talking behind, you know,
Wow.
Yeah.
they don't really know what to do either.
Yeah.
I wound up pouring antacid down one cow, a heifer of mine, down her throat, and using Pepto-Bismol before that. I'd also given her 5 different shots of 20 milliliters of penicillin and a couple of different things, just to kind of boost her up, B12. And you know, she's back on her feet today, and I thought I was going to have to go ahead and put her down a few days ago. So,
do you ever use the shift on your cows?
you know, I was going to take it out there and do that. We had budget last week, and I was sick, and so I wasn't here.
Yeah,
I would do that.
I do it on my dogs. I do
Yeah, we do it on our dog too. Wow.
And I was going to do it on this heifer too, but anyway, just South Carolina house got most of my time last week.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Kate, you've told me some crazy stories where there was like a farmer that had chicks in his hand, and the heartbeat
chicks
came back.
Yeah, it's
using a shift.
A farmer up in Michigan, and every spring he and his wife buy 15 baby chicks. And so they went out and bought these baby chicks, brought them home, put them in the barn. And when they went to check on them in the morning, the temperature dropped. Of course, probably geoengineeringly. It was like 70 degrees, and then at night it froze. And the 15 baby chicks, he said, I don't know why, but they all jumped in the water trough. And so he and his wife dug them out, and they got blow dryers, but 2 of the baby chicks were face down. And so he picked those up, and he walked outside. He was going to say a prayer for them. And he said, God told me to use the shift on them. So he ran up into his farmhouse, grabbed his shift, shifted them, and they both came to life at the same exact time. He said, Dr. Kate, I can feel both their hearts start again in the palm of my hand.
Wow.
So we're using them on our cows, our goats, our chickens. We got the healthiest animals on our farm. But they...
That's incredible.
I need to carry it around with my syringes. I do.
Or shift the syringes.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Wow. It's such a simple thing to do. It's so mind-blowing. But it just reminds me of like how many things, you know, in like especially the Christian journey with God are like, it's so simple to pray. It's so simple to believe in Jesus. Like, could it really be that simple? Is that it? I don't have to do 100 acts to get to heaven. No, it's that simple. It's amazing how he designed health to really be that same way. And they figured this out, like how to mess us up with frequency. But that's how we can heal too.
Prayer raises your vibration, you know, right? Prayer raises your field.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. The God frequency, all of that. So real.
Yeah.
So real.
It really is. It really is.
Well, should we end on, I know we're coming up on our hour. Should we end with any final words, thoughts? This was so good. Really blew my mind a little bit just to talk to you.
I think adding to just what y'all were saying, one huge thing we can do is we all need to repent, and we need to be praying that we fix what we all haven't been paying attention to over so many years. You know, for whatever reasons that we've been manipulated or whatever the cause may be, but that we keep this in our prayers, that we are able to stop this and be able to change that one gentleman's comment that, texted in and said, "You'll never be able to stop this."
We will.
We will, and it'll be done through prayer, and it'll be done by we the people and the masses.
Yeah.
So,
and I like to tell people too, we can blame and they did this and they're doing this and they're doing this. Well, okay, it is, but we are all participants. We all have electricity. We all have heating and air. We all drive cars. We all use gasoline. We use petroleum. We're all in this together. And if we all come together and realize that we're the only ones, like Lee said right in the beginning, the people are the only ones. But if we waste our time blaming, there's a lot of this, what do they call it? Deranged Trump syndrome. We're blaming our politicians, we're blaming all these people, and then we get sicker and sicker, because the more you blame, the further you are away from forgiveness. Like Paul Baratero said, Echo Water, we must, we have to have forgiveness in our heart, and then we have to spend the rest of our life on the solution, whatever that is. We contact our Congress people, we contact people like Lee, we look up, we gather information in science and scientific results, and we start participating. I tell people, get off your recliner and come to Congress with me. I've got a car. Come next time to Congress when this bill is coming forward. The more participants we have, so get off your recliner. I'll pick you up. What's your address? Come with me.
If we had 500 to 1,000 people,
I know.
If we had 500 to 1,000 people standing out, in front of the
we'd get
block building,
right? I mean, I'll hire a bus. I don't care. Let's get these people going and participating. You can't sit back and blame. You'll be a part of that whole lower dimensional field, and nothing will happen then. Nothing will happen. When you can climb above and thank God for all these gifts, and let's see how we can save our children, as Bobby Kennedy says, and how we can, again, I keep repeating it, become participants in our own lives. We can stop it. We can. I am an eternal optimist, and I have full hope. And we have people like Julia, and we have people like Lee here. I mean,
yeah.
Amen.
100%.
Ditto that.
Love that. So good. Yeah. And someone says, "Well, we can't knock down towers because we will be the towers." Oh, the whole 6G thing. But we can detox and we can get this stuff out of us. I know, because I was like, not in a good place for months, and then it changed.
I was last October. I was almost lethargic, just had zero energy, wanted to take a nap every day, and would have to just fight through it not to take a nap. And I started a detox, and I was using humeric and fulvic acid at a high rate, like 1,000 to 1,200 micrograms per day, which I think you're supposed to use 175. Sheila Jet and chlorella, chlorophyll, just a wide array of white pearl, a methane blue, a true blue product. And I would religiously do this daily, plus a lot of other liposomal vitamins. And I would also get my alkalinity to a 7.45, drinking alkaline water with frequency in it from the shift. So anyway, then I started the chelation, just like Dr. Kate. She told me, said, you need to do this chelation. So I started doing chelation, and then started taking some bioidentical hormone treatments from the same lady, which I've never been one for hormones, but this is not a synthetic chemical.
It's plant drug.
Yeah. But anyway, by the 1st of January, I've got people coming to me saying, I got to do whatever you did. I said, well, it's not an easy process. You really got to devote your life to it almost. That was 2 months. It was the best I had felt in years, literally.
Wow.
And still feel good. I'm not doing it as heavy, but I still, just like Dr. Kate says, you got to do something daily,
Yeah.
detoxifying the body,
Yeah.
dragging and pulling those toxic metals out,
Yeah.
graphene oxide, all the other stuff as well.
Yeah. It's crazy because I didn't believe in any of it. I thought my husband was absolutely crazy to say there was, things being sprayed on us. I was totally oblivious intentionally because I'm very intelligent. And if I wake up to that, I have to question my whole reality. I was like, no, that's too hard. And then I never detoxed. And then I got so sick last year. My heart was in AFib and I was struggling to live for months. And that's when God just systematically showed me, everything you thought you knew, it's pretty much a lie. You live in a matrix and you have to unplug and you have to completely leave everything you thought you could trust, which was so hard. That was the wake up. And you have to look into quantum healing. And it was such a clear path. So I completely woke up and learned how to leave everything I thought I could trust. But that itself is you have to come to this realization that the country you thought you could trust implicitly, that has the most advanced technology, the most advanced health and medical system, supposedly, you thought you could trust these things and resources put up for our public safety. But what's crazy is, COVID definitely blew open a lot of those lies. And I think it backfired on their plan because more of us are waking up than I have ever seen.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. It's happening. It's happening. You can just hear people talking. You see a whole different persona about people. They're willing to hear information. Whereas 5 years ago they looked at me like I had 9 eyes.
I know.
Oh, I know. I remember Dr. Monzo. No, Dr. Kate. I know you know him. Lee, do you know about Alfonso Monzo and any of his work?
Not yet.
Oh, he's amazing. He's like, I love 2020 because it was the first year no one thought I was crazy.
I know.
And he was perfectly healthy, really strong because he knew everything was coming. Well, that's a different perspective. Wow. We do have one last question for you, Lee, and probably Dr. Kate's thoughts too. Does methylene blue work? Because you mentioned
yes, I live with it. And Dr. Kate can certainly tell you more about it than I can. But I started it I started using it before I started doing that detox protocol. But yes, it's been a game changer for me.
Wow.
And I don't go without it. So
yeah, it definitely works. You want to be careful which kind. We know a very intelligent guy who he actually manufactures. It's called True Blue, and it's the only one that crosses a blood-brain barrier. And then it's also, here we are talking about nanoparticles, but his is nano, so his is has been proven to help. Some of them, there's been some not so good things said about them that they don't work, but the one True Blue that Lee and I use, I drink it every day.
Wow.
So
yeah.
Is there a website you get that from, or how would one look that up?
I'll share that with you.
Is it trueblue.com or trueblue? I think it's trueblue.com.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Of course, Tommy's been through his charades too, because it's such a great product. He's had some
real challenges.
You know it's good if they come after you.
Yeah.
You over the target.
Right.
It's funny. I can't find it in Google, even as a drop down. So, it must be good.
Yeah, he's been hacked.
Wow.
Bless his heart. They turned his website into a porn website just out of nowhere. You probably know how they can do that because you're into AI. But he had to
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab my bottle. I'll be right back.
Yeah, they've done that several times to him, Julia. He'll go to somebody will call and they'll say, look at your website, and here it is, a porn site.
Oh, that's
So,
terrible.
yeah, but he's got the true blue for sure.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you hear so many opposites. Oh, it's part of the nanotechnology
I
agenda.
know. No, his
Like,
isn't.
wow.
And I think all of his research and everything is on his website.
Oh,
It's,
that's
it's
cool.
that's it right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then I was wrong. It's trueblue2truth.com.
Yeah.
oh,
Trueblue2truth.com.
Yeah.
very
Tommy's
cool.
he's an amazing guy.
He really
Wow.
is.
We got to interview him here.
You've got to interview him.
Oh,
Listen,
wow.
Lee, he spoke with Lee and I and Dr. Jean. He has the most amazing blood talk
Analysis. Yeah.
analysis.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's incredible. It's
It
incredible.
it
Oh,
really
that's
is.
cool. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, he shows his own blood.
Hmm.
And then what he did to clean it up. He's all about cleaning the blood, and that's what we all have to do. We got to clean our blood.
Hmm.
And
And
he
see,
looked like he never took a vaccination, but he had the blood work to prove that it looked like he had 4 vaccinations at one time.
yeah,
That's what I think happened to me. I never had the vax, and everyone asked me that. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I never did. But yet I was as sick as somebody that did.
You didn't.
Someone
You don't
says
have to.
you have
No.
to clean the blood. That's very
Mhm.
true.
I mean,
You
you can get shotted on. They're spraying it. They're spraying it in airplanes. Yeah, man. We could go
Yeah.
on. Well, that could be a whole other hour.
I know. So, oh man, yeah. The life is in the blood. That's Leviticus says
It
that.
is.
Yeah.
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 So
Really
true.
is.
So true.
Well, thank you both for your time today, especially you, Representative Lee. I'm sure you have a lot of work you have ahead of you. And I mean, Dr. Kate, too. You're supposed to be retired.
Yeah.
You're not.
Well, I'm late for another meeting now. So
Oh, no.
Aw,
Okay. We'll let you go.
Thank you, Lee, for
Thank
all
you
you
so
do.
much. Yes. We're cheering
hey,
you
well,
on.
thank y'all so much, and what a pleasure to speak with both of you. And I hope people will take it to heart and see that we all have to get involved in this to take back our sovereignty and our health. And
Yes. Yes. Agreed.
brighter day tomorrow.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's hope.
And let love overcome fear.
Yes, for sure.
Yes. That is the frequency to live in.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We'll see you
Thank
next
Yeah,
time.
thank you.
Blessed day.